College or bust is a common cry around many high school campuses these days. And while there is nothing wrong with a quality education at the university level, it can be difficult to prepare for when varsity sports, band camp, and cheerleader tryouts are top of mind. Vocational classes in high school offer useful skill development for today's careers, and they're gaining in popularity as students and parents realize they can create a pathway to further vocational training as well as future employment. In Dearborn Heights, students are offered a wide variety of specialized classes with educational resources that cater to building in-demand skills. This technical training allows them to follow the career path they're considering or have chosen, plus give them the valuable life skills they'll use long after graduation. Among the choices is nursing. Nurses can work in a variety of medical and non-medical locations, as job growth in the field is expected to double the national average for other occupations.
I love how that it's in a hospital setting. You get to see doctors and everybody going around. Also, you get 2 days on the floor as a first-year student, and you get to do what second-year students do. You could deal with patients, feed them, change beds, and go on the floor. The day you go up on the floor, it's really interesting to go up there and see how patients are and how to deal with certain patients and how to introduce yourself to them.
We teach how everything is applied in the workforce. So it's relating things to the actual job.
Well, we went through all the body systems and we learned everything. We learned CPR. I learned first aid, I learned how to take blood pressures, temperatures, and all that stuff. That way it could help me on the floor. And I saw the different videos, the cadaver videos, and I got to see the actual human body. I learned that you have to have a strong stomach for this. I actually was the first student to ever take this class from Annapolis. And so last year, junior year, I was the spokesperson, and I went around to all the sophomores and the freshmen, and I just talked to them. I said, if you want anything to do with the medical field, no matter if it's being a vet or a dentist or whatever, just take this class. Because if you do the class junior year, senior year, you can go off to an off-site. You can go work with a dentist or a vet or a pharmacist. Even if you don't want to be a nurse or a doctor, you don't want to work in a hospital, you still want to take the class.
For more than a century, Detroit has been synonymous with the automotive industry. From the Model T to the sophisticated vehicles of today, the love affair with anything on four wheels is as strong as it's ever been. But one thing about the auto industry and its workers has changed. It's not a male-dominated workforce anymore. More and more women are taking corporate leadership positions, as well as interest in what makes cars tick through vocational training programs.
I thought it would be a fun class to take because growing up I was always interested in working on cars and going outside and helping my dad with stuff and learning how things worked. I didn't know how to do an oil change before. To do that, you don't have to go and take your car into the shop and pay for that when it's something that simple that doesn't take you that long to do. You get to be up interacting, you get to learn how things work, and you get to use skills that you can use in real life.
Auto shop is a very hands-on and it's a very applicable study to today's lifestyle. I intend on going to Roush or to Ford to become a mechanic or a line engineer. We began the course by learning how to change and repair a tire. We even had a race one time on who could change a tire off the rim the fastest, and that would be me at 54 seconds. When I'm older and I have my own car, maybe a friend's car says, hey, I need my brakes done, bring it over, we'll get it done. I know how and I have the know-how.
I've always wanted to do engineering, but seeing this, now it's okay, now I know what they do technically behind it. You're not just sitting in your desk listening to a lecture for an hour and 15 minutes. You're doing your own things. You meet people from other schools, as well as you can go on field trips that are interesting to the class, and you actually do stuff that's beneficial to your life, like the other shop classes teach you how to do.
Computer science is another rapidly growing field attracting young people as early as elementary school. Existing and emerging technology are used in our everyday lives, from business to science and medicine. Of late, crime fighting and terrorism are taking computer information and research to new levels, helping to push the need higher for qualified individuals as job growth outpaces the available workforce. Helping to shorten that gap is the Cisco Academy at Annapolis High School.
I've walked in here one day for programming class and I saw them actually doing the labs and stuff that's in the room. and I thought it was really interesting, so I decided to sign up for it. I just really wanted to get into networking and just computers in general. I've always liked messing around with computers. When I graduate, I plan on going to HFC for my first 2 years and then probably going to Lawrence Tech to get probably a bachelor's in information assurance. It's kind of like being IT, but there's more along to it. You do more things than just say fix computers. You'd analyze the network. You'd find out if there's bottlenecks, and if there are just problems, then you'd have to go and fix it.
The idea of the program is to gain enough knowledge to where you're going to take a certification through Cisco. Currently with Cisco, if you take 4 certification exams, and you can walk out of high school and you can get a job being a network engineer through Cisco or any other company that does that kind of thing, and you're a very valuable person, you're probably going to make around $80,000 if you have that certification. I think the biggest thing for me is the students that are in this class, they really want to be here, and there's always this turning point throughout the year where they kind of get what we're doing, they kind of have a better understanding of it. Their confidence comes up and they start to be really involved in the class and being able to get an idea of maybe I want to do this after high school type thing, and I think that's the thing that motivates me the most.
Coolest thing I've done here was probably being part of the robotics team. My role was helping actually build the robot. So I was part of the building team, so I would put all the pieces together here and there and then have it ready for the electrician and programmer to program.
Another thing that we do with this class now, this year was our first year with robotics, and these kids helped build our robot, and we went and competed at 2 different competitions this year. We built a really great robot. All of that was programmed by them, and all of it was built by them, and they had a great time doing it. The robot's ran by a computer and Wi-Fi and a joystick, so it's kind of like a zero-turn lawnmower. That's how we built it. So they hold on to 2 joysticks and they drive it like that. So we had it going down the hallway at least 15 miles an hour.
Both of my parents are police officers. My dad's in traffic enforcement, my mother's a detective. I just love helping people out, and I might as well do it and get paid for it, especially if it's somebody that really needs help. I love police officers. I love what they do. I love how they protect the country and the city.
Criminal justice program here is like a twofold type program. What happens here is we follow what's called the career pathway of corrections, law enforcement, law, public safety, and security. In the program, the students are shown the various aspects, different types of law enforcement agencies. It also goes a little bit further. We go into security. We do some forensic work. Here they have firearms training. They learn CPR, AED. We also dabble into the fire science portion of emergency services. We try to get each one of the students to do at least a police and or a fire department ride-along or job shadowing situation where they actually get paired up with a police officer or they get paired up working a shift at a fire station.
I rode in the ambulance and we went on runs transporting people from their homes to the hospitals. It got me thinking, I do want to do something that helps people and helps save people's lives. I really thought about becoming a paramedic or working with the EMT. It's a very fun experience.
With nearly every workforce task aided by or done via computer, it's no surprise to see creative young minds digitizing the design, prototyping, and manufacturing of so many products. Recent 3D printing technology has transformed fields such as architectural design, while advances in the graphic arts process have driven interest in photography as a creative outlet as well as a career. As the technology continues to evolve, it is breaking out of the research labs and R&D departments and finding its way inside of the educational process to become part of the mainstream high school experience.
It's really fascinating how much that the modeling stage as a whole has advanced over time. And now we're using average day PCs that you can get from anywhere using average software that's very advanced. And it's just kind of really fascinating to see the actual process of these 3D modeling and housing plans and how they are actually constructed.
They learn basic mechanical drafting, 3D modeling in here. We do some airbrush work, we do some model building. We have the latest CAD technology here. We also have a new 3D printer, which we can actually print their drawings in 3D. It's just a very enjoyable class for the students.
The first thing that attracted me to this program was the word graphic, since I do want to go to school for graphic design. So I'm like, hey, graphic arts, graphic design, maybe it's a little link there. So I decided to take this class. I'm actually happy I really took this class because I'm a hands-on worker and everything in this class is hands-on.
Well, we have two different classes. We have the basic printing. We'll start out designing letterheads. Then we get into memo pads. We get into business cards. In that process, they're learning all the equipment, how to design, how to work the whole system. There's a lot of science involved. This is also a math credit, so we're doing measuring, ratios, fractions. It's a good learning process, and they really enjoy it also. Seeing the actual film be developed in front of their eyes, it's like, whoa, they really enjoy that.
Getting young people inspired and motivated about life in and after high school can be a challenge. In Dearborn Heights, it's the focus of the Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps program taught in cooperation with the U.S. Army. This elective class at Robichaud High School is often mistaken as a prep program that requires graduates to serve in the military.
It's not going to force you into the military. It's not going to scare you into the military. It just wants you to be more prepared as life goes on.
JROTC features citizenship, leadership, character, and community service at its core.
If you want to go into anything with leadership, this is the best course for you. If you want to learn how to manage your life, this is the best course for you. There's no other course I can even imagine that is as good as this one when it comes to leadership and life planning.
Graduates leave with increased confidence, as well as with life skills that allow them to thrive in their personal and professional lives.
What we do in ROTC, we teach success. Our job is to ensure our students get through high school successfully. Now, if they want to join the military, that's fine. Let them go talk to the recruiter. That's their job. Our job, take care of our students, get them through high school successfully. But more importantly, is to give them the tools to succeed in life.
The role of the parent in the American family structure has changed drastically over the last several decades. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics projects that daycare businesses will have some of the fastest employment growth of all industries. At Crestwood High School, the child care program has incredible staying power, thanks to a dedicated staff and an evolving curriculum.
Working with the children is probably one of the best parts of this class, but it's not only that, because we work with the children Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So on Tuesdays and Thursdays we're here working on other things like bloodborne pathogens, which is something that you'll need if you want to do this later on. So it's not something where you just work with children, you learn a lot of other stuff.
When you work with young children, you could really help change their path into a better educational future. Our high school students are learning child development principles. They're also learning how to work with preschoolers. Our students will be able to earn 3 credits from Henry Ford College, as well as actually have hands-on experience working with preschoolers. They will earn a full year's working experience in the licensed early childhood program.
The decision to pursue vocational education is important, and it can be the start of a promising career with skills, hands-on training, and career-building experience. Is vocational education right for you? That's a question only you can answer once you've considered all of your options. But you won't know until you take that first step.